Once upon a cold night in Bethlehem, inside a small wooden stable at the edge of a quiet hillside, lived a tiny white goat who was known by every creature for her gentleness. She was the youngest in the stable, small enough to hide behind a stack of hay, shy enough to let the older animals speak first, and humble enough to believe she had nothing special inside her. The donkeys carried heavy loads, the cows gave warmth, and the sheep followed their shepherd with grace. But the little goat felt ordinary, almost invisible. Yet her heart was kinder than anyone knew. She spent her days watching the world softly, wishing she could be brave like the others, wishing she could matter. She never imagined that one night her courage would change everything. That same night, the stable doors creaked open and Mary and Joseph stepped inside, seeking rest after a long and tiring journey. Their faces showed exhaustion, but also a quiet hope, as if they carried something sacred within them. The animals lifted their heads curiously. The sheep stepped aside to make room. The donkey bowed slightly, sensing the importance of the moment. And there in the silence of the stable, baby Jesus was born. A warm, gentle glow filled the space, not from any lamp, but from the feeling in the air, a peace so deep that even the animals felt it. They moved with care, breathed quietly, and stood closer to give their warmth to the newborn child. The little goat watched from the shadows, her heart fluttering with emotion. She wanted to help, to step forward and offer something, but she felt too small to make a difference. So she stayed where she was, watching Mary hold the baby with love deeper than the night sky. Outside the stable, dark clouds gathered over Bethlehem. A cold wind slithered through the cracks in the wooden walls. The night grew heavier, and the sky rumbled with warning. The animals shifted nervously. They could sense that a storm was approaching. The little goat trembled, unsure of what was about to happen. Then the first drop of rain splashed against the roof. Then another, and another. Suddenly thunder roared across the hills and rain came pouring down in thick, heavy sheets. The stable creaked under the pressure of the wind. The donkey stood firmly near the entrance to block the gusts. The cows moved closer around the manger to keep the air warm, but none of them noticed the problem forming overhead. The roof above the manger was old and fragile, made of worn wood and thin pieces of straw. As the storm intensified, one corner began to sag, raindrops started slipping through the cracks, landing dangerously close to baby Jesus. Joseph hurried to find cloth or wood, but the storm was too fierce, the night too dark, and the materials too few. Mary shielded her baby with her hands, but the roof threatened to give way. A stronger gust of wind struck, making the beams tremble. A small piece of the roof gave in, allowing cold rain to fall directly toward the child. The animals gasped. Panic filled the stable. No one knew what to do, but the little goat did. Before anyone could move, she rushed forward with a burst of courage she never knew she had. She slid under the open crack in the roof and positioned herself directly beneath the dripping water. The cold rain hit her back immediately, soaking her tiny body and chilling her to the bone. Her fur grew heavy with water, but she did not step away. She planted her hooves firmly into the ground and pressed herself upward, blocking the rain with her small frame. The wind stung her skin, but she didn't flinch. The storm howled outside, but she didn't move. She stood there silently, letting every drop fall on her instead of the baby. The other animals stared in awe. This shy, quiet goat, the one who never spoke out, never stood out, had become the protector of the newborn king. Inspired by her bravery, the donkey stepped beside her to strengthen the barrier. The cow moved closer to warm her shivering body. The sheep formed a circle around the manger, guarding the fragile moment. But it was the little goat who acted first. It was she who saw the danger, she who stepped forward, she who refused to let a storm threaten something holy. Minutes passed like hours. The storm raged furiously outside, lightning cracking through the sky, rain slamming against the earth. But inside the stable, baby Jesus slept peacefully. Untouched by the chaos, the little goat kept her position, trembling but unbroken. Her small body stood between the storm and the Savior of the world. Finally, the storm began to fade. The wind softened. The rain slowed. The clouds parted, revealing a soft beam of moonlight that gently touched the little goat's soaked fur. She let out a tired breath and slowly stepped back. Mary reached out and rested her hand on the goat's head with gratitude in her eyes. "You gave your strength," she whispered, "and heaven saw it." The little goat, exhausted but peaceful, lay beside the manger, feeling for the first time that she truly mattered. That night, in a humble stable under a Bethlehem sky, the smallest creature proved that greatness doesn't come from size or strength. It comes from the courage to act when others hesitate, from the heart that chooses love over fear. And a little goat, once unnoticed, once unsure, became the silent hero of a sacred night.